All right. So just give me
Yeah, Sabha, we
one.
can start. Yeah.
We can start. Okay, we have enough people on board. Okay, we have about 80 people. We'll get started. And for any queries, I would suggest you all to make note of your questions. We have a quick questionnaire at the end of the session. I will surely take up your questions and help you understand this further. Drop in at the end. Okay, good morning, Jayaprakash ji, and to everybody here, a lovely, lovely Sunday morning. We'll get started now without further delay. Let me just share the document and we'll start.
You can drop down your questions related to the session in the chat section. We will take it post the talk.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so let's begin. The topic of the day is silent muscle loss after 40. Okay, so you must have heard from your coaches. So most of your
Uh,
coaches,
Sabha, just stop sharing. Just give me 1 second.
sure, sure.
Sabha, we can use the Google Slides to present in the presentation mode. I think this is the PDF, so it won't be clearly visible, right? Sabha, you are on mute.
Okay, मैं बोल ही रहा हूँ उससे. All right, we'll get started. I believe the screen is clearly visible.
Yes.
And like Neha mentioned, and like I also mentioned, we can start dropping the queries if any, during the middle of the session in the chat, and we'll take it up at the end of the discussion. All right, so let's quickly begin. Silent muscle loss after 40. Let's understand why that happens and how we can turn things around. Okay. So we understand aging is a natural phenomenon. None of us have control over it. With age, your metabolic processes change. आपकी बॉडी जैसे फंक्शन कर रही है वो बदलने लगता है with time, with age. That's very highly expected, right? Like how I'm sure you see kids like toddlers and say young kids, they're running around all day long and they still have so much energy packed. Imagine us running around even in 20s or 30s. You can't really match the energy of a toddler or someone who's about, say, 5, 6 years old. You can't really do that. Similarly, not just energy, but a lot of other things change with time. One such thing is your muscle mass, lean body mass or skeletal muscle. It has different names, but it's all referring to the same thing. Let's exactly see how that happens. Okay. You may have noticed a couple of signs, like maybe the dress that fit you last year. Okay, probably last Jan some dress was fitting you, and and it sort of fit you in properly. But this Jan or this Feb, when you wore it, you felt like okay, it was slightly loose around the sleeves. It was maybe loose around your chest or your back. And maybe you felt happy, अरे मैंने तो weight loss कर लिया है, that's amazing. It may not be that. It may not be weight loss. It is most likely a muscle loss. When you see a change in your body structure around your arms, your shoulders, around your joints, that's mostly your lean body mass or skeletal muscle going down. Okay. And you also see probably, this is a very, this is like a classical feature in Asians and Indians, particularly, especially with men, you can see this. Usually their arms, their legs, they're all on a very lean side, but they have a pot belly, a very prominent pot belly. Similar with some women, maybe, probably those with a lower BMI, they have, they're very lean, they're very petite, but the fat in the midriff section or the stomach doesn't go away. That's not good health. That is low muscle mass and just fat accumulation. Okay. Now I'll tell you how does this really affect. Again, सिंपल सी चीजें. अरे आजकल तो ना चेयर से उठते उठते एकदम कमर कस जाती है. That's the kind of feeling, right? And maybe while you're walking or maybe while going down that flight of stairs, आपके घर में जो सीढ़ियां हैं, probably last year तक उतना कुछ डिफरेंस नहीं लग रहा था. अभी थोड़ा ना आपके जॉइंट्स दर्द करने लगते हैं, घुटनों में दर्द ज्यादा होता है. यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग इट मोर ऑब्वियसली नाउ, right? I'm sure all of us here in this room, in this meeting room, would accept that. We've all seen such changes in the past few years. The things that you could do easily, like picking up shopping bags, picking up a couple of things, moving from one place to another, your mobility, walking, going about your daily life, was a lot easier as compared to a few years later, right? That is simply because you have lost your muscle mass over time, little by little. Thereby, there's weakness, there's lack of healthy muscle, which is guarding your bones, guarding your joints. So there's joint pain. You don't have, so if you lose your muscle, you lose your energy, obviously. That's why the same task looks more effortful. All right. Now, how do we really, uh, from the scientific point of view, let's understand a couple of things. So this whole terminology of sarcopenia is basically the muscle loss or the muscle degradation that starts happening. And it is very peculiar around the age of 40 and onward. All right. And sarcopenia is basically your muscle is naturally being broken down by your own body. It's not like you have, say, a deficiency, you have a certain medical condition or anything like that. But this is body's natural phenomenon that it starts breaking down your muscle. Now you must be wondering, why would the body do that? Right? That's because the body is made up in such a way that muscle becomes the first source of energy for it. Now I'll link this with diabetes and I'll explain it to you why that happens in some time. Okay. So let's first understand sarcopenia is the age-related muscle loss, which leads to loss of strength, loss of energy, and usually happens around 40 and above. And it dramatically increases when you're in your senior age, 60 plus. And that's when you also see there's a very significant decline and you feel more bony, but you also have less energy. You don't feel light just because you're losing that weight around your bones or whatever. you're losing more energy. And that's why we eventually become dependent on a walking stick, or we need the help of family members to help us do our tasks, right? It's all muscle. And let's understand your physical strength is directly proportional or directly related to your muscle mass. All right? ठीक है. Now let's understand one very important factor जिसके ऊपर मैं और थोड़ा elaborate करने वाली हूँ, which is when your muscles go down or when the muscle loss starts happening, your basal metabolism also starts reducing. Now, what is basal metabolism? Can someone quickly drop their answers in the chat if you know what basal metabolism is? Hmm? ठीक है. Let me explain this to you. Basal metabolism is basically the amount of calories that are lost at rest state. So, for example, you and I, we're all sitting now, right? We're not doing a workout. We're not doing any activity. We're not running around or moving around in the house doing some work. We're all just sitting. But I'm talking, so anyway. Uh, the thing is, we're all still losing calories. And you must be wondering, how is that possible? Right? How would someone lose calories while sitting or while at rest? But that does happen. That's because even when you're at rest, your body's functioning. Am I right? Your body never stops functioning even for one moment. Even while you're sleeping, your body's doing some one task or another. It's working on different biochemical functions, it's working on growth, repair, recovery, detoxification, and so many other things. Similarly, even now, the very fact that you are holding your phone and watching it, you are sitting and trying to listen to me attentively, correct? All of these things will also require energy, correct? And that energy is broken down from the stores. Now that is basal metabolism. अभी जब हमारा मसल लॉस होता चला जाता है, your basal metabolism also goes down. Okay. Now, when that goes down, meaning your energy utilization or your energy burn goes down, your fat starts getting stored higher and higher. Because, see, for example, if you have a habit of eating a certain amount of food, okay, maybe you're used to eating two rotis and sabzi and salad, maybe. This has been your diet for 5 years. For example, for the past 5 years, you've made a certain change. अभी आप दो रोटी सब्जी खा रहे हो हर दिन, ठीक है? लंच एंड डिनर में ब्रेकफास्ट में कुछ ना कुछ हो रहा है. But in the past 5 years, you are in your 40s or 50s, whatever, but your exercise is only walking. Okay? सिर्फ वॉकिंग कर रहे हो, लेकिन खाने में तो कोई चेंज नहीं हुआ है. द अमाउंट ऑफ कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स यू टेकिंग इज द सेम. ओके, सो walking is not helping with muscle. Walking is only helping with your cardiac health, heart health. Okay? And because you're losing muscle little by little, like we see between 40 and 60, there's about a 3 to 8% decline per decade. So you're constantly losing muscle, but your food intake hasn't gone down. So what happens? That excess gets converted to fat. Your body doesn't have the ability to make more muscle also now. Natural जो होना चाहिए उसका ability वो कम हो जाता है. Now, are we understanding how and why fat is getting deposited? We usually wonder, all I eat is two rotis, all I eat is just one katori of rice. How can my body store more fat? How can I even cut down more food from what I'm eating? Correct? I'm sure this rings a bell टू एवरीबॉडी, सबको कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा ना स्ट्राइक हो रहा है कि हाँ आई हैव फेल्ट दिस, राइट? नाउ लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर द एक्सेलरेटर्स ऑफ मसल डिटेरियोरेशन. ओके, accelerators meaning the factors which are leading to more muscle loss. ठीक है, एक है मैकेनिकल deficits meaning low physical activity and prolonged sitting, exactly what we were discussing now. The more you sit and the more you have a sedentary lifestyle, जितना आप खाली बैठते हो, समझो फोन पे बात करो, चलते फिरते बात करो, ठीक है, कुछ करते हो, ओ आई कैन जस्ट सी Lataji quickly wake up, and I'm so happy that she took an immediate action. Lovely, lovely, awesome. ठीक है, really proud. So, the moment you start making these tiny changes, you see a good improvement. Okay, sedentary lifestyle has more, you know, impact than we can ever imagine. And then there's metabolic conditions like diabetes and chronic inflammation. Now, how does diabetes impact our muscle health? I'll tell you that. So, for say, so in case of diabetes, what really happens? There's insulin functioning. So there's a problem with the insulin functioning. Your insulin is not really efficient as it used to be. So there's insulin resistance. We know what that is. Insulin secrete तो हो रहा है लेकिन वो utilize नहीं हो पा रहा है due to multiple reasons. Due to lack of insulin receptors on the muscles. One thing. Second thing, although insulin is there, but muscle is not accepting it really well. It has become resistant to it. It could also be because of some fat lining around it, so insulin is unable to reach the muscle cell. ठीक है, और इस वजह से जो आपका शुगर लेवल है वो ब्लड में बढ़ता चला जाता है, एंड योर muscle cells feel like, okay, I still don't have energy. Maybe you've eaten a full meal, but you still have the lack of energy. दैट्स बिकॉज जो भी आप खा रहे हो वो शुगर डायरेक्टली ब्लड में जा रहा है बट मसल को नहीं पहुंच रहा है. ठीक है, और ये होता क्यों है? वाई आर द रिसेप्टर्स नॉट प्रेजेंट? वाई इज देयर फैट अराउंड योर मसल? प्योरली बिकॉज ऑफ योर लाइफस्टाइल पैटर्न्स, राइट? Muscle receptors for in the receptors for insulin on the muscles, they get disrupted when there is muscle degeneration. And muscle degeneration is happening because there is no proper kind of workout. What is the proper kind of workout? Strength training, which we are not doing. हम बस walking करते रहते हैं. हमें बस लगता है going out to the park and doing like a 1 hour walk, breathe fresh air in the morning is sufficient. But no, it's not. Okay? And even when there's chronic inflammation, meaning when the stress levels are high in the body, it could be physical stressors, mental stressors, or it could be the stress created in the body because of your health, like you have diabetes or hypertension or thyroid or maybe PCOS or anything else that you may have, that leads to a an inherent stress जो inflammation में बदल जाता है. इसमें basically क्या हो रहा है? Your stress hormones are increasing. Okay? When the stress hormones are increasing, again they lead to more muscle degeneration. Am I clear on this? Okay. And the next thing, definitely nutritional deficits. When your protein intake is very low, this is the classical problem with Indian diet. We focus a lot on roti, sabzi, chawal, salad, everything but protein. And the moment we say we need to take protein, the first answer I get from most of my patients is, हाँ मैं तो एक कटोरी दाल लेती हूँ या लेता हूँ. Do you really think that little amount of dal, which is good for 4-5 people, with a lot of water and tomato and say onion and everything, जो वो around 100-150 grams, वो भी मैं अलग अलग कंसिस्टेंसी पे डिपेंड होता है, If you're making a thin dal, you take a very small quantity, you add the vegetables, etc., add water, and you make an entire curry kind of a thing out of it. तो आप really सोचो वो जो एक 20-25 ग्राम जो हार्डली आपको मिला होगा, उसमें कुछ भी प्रोटीन आपको मिल रहा है दाल में? Absolutely not. Okay. Dal will not even be considered. When I'm coming to nutritional changes, I will talk about this further. But I just wanted to drop this point at this moment. Dal is not protein, and protein is more important than carbohydrates. Okay? Next thing, and the most important thing, sleep, stress really if affect the hormonal balance, and we know this. Poor sleep, almost, well, the studies suggest even one night of poor sleep or sleep deprivation leads to 18% of muscle loss, nearly. Now imagine years of disrupted sleep one may have, or most of us probably from COVID times, we say, हाँ रात की नींद एकदम बदल गई मेरी कोविड के बाद, नींद नहीं आती है। क्यों नहीं आती? क्योंकि हम या तो फोन चलाते रहते हैं, या तो हम कुछ ना कुछ करते रहते हैं जो हम सुबह कर भी सकते हैं, बट वी आर प्रायोरिटाइजिंग इट इन द नाइट only by saying that I'm not feeling sleepy. Sleep needs calmness. Sleep needs zero distractions. How do we put a child to sleep? Do we turn the light on? Do we turn on their favorite show? Are we talking to them the entire time while putting the baby or putting the child to sleep? No. We make a calm environment. We play their favorite lullaby. We tell them a peaceful and a very uh, relaxing bedtime story, something like that, something that puts them to sleep. That's when they calm down, fall asleep quickly. Same logic. Even we need something like that to sleep, not just quickly, but also have a deep sleep. That's because when you have your deep sleep, deep low wave sleep, that's when your muscle synthesis is the highest. All right. So when your body is undergoing muscle loss, it is in a catabolic state. Catabolic state meaning it is in a state where your body is breaking down tissues. But what are we trying to do? We want to say move the body more towards anabolic state. Anabolic state meaning building up or synthesis or making of muscle. And this happens with the right amount of protein. Second, with your right kind of activity, which is strength training. And third, and the most important, during your sleep, during your deep, undisturbed sleep. All right. So your growth hormone increases and it focuses on your muscle synthesis. All right. Perfect. Next thing. Let's understand how. Okay, this is a huge myth. All right. Firstly, that liver really, takes care of your glucose. Liver is the most important glucose, say, manager or glucose related regulator or something like that. But no, not really. लिवर को बस हम इसीलिए ऐसा कहते हैं, that's because it stores a lot of glucose in the form of glycogen, etc. But the true regulator of glucose is muscle. Now going back to the discussion that we had a little while ago, थोड़ी देर पहले हम क्या बात कर रहे थे? Muscles have receptors in them, right, for insulin, so that insulin molecules can come, get attached to the receptors. When insulin is attaching to your muscle, आपका जो glucose units है blood में, can you see this? These tiny little molecules. So this is a depiction of venous blood. जो आपके veins में blood होता है, वहां से जो glucose units होते हैं वो निकल के muscle में जाने लगते हैं. That only happens when insulin gets attached and it is opening the pathway for glucose to come inside. Now imagine the receptors are not there only. चाबी ही नहीं है ताले की। रिसेप्टर्स माने समझो ताले की चाबी है। ताला इज द मसल, उसकी चाबी है हमारा रिसेप्टर। Now imagine when the keys are lost, how will you get inside the house? Not possible. Okay. सेकेंड सिचुएशन, समझो आपके पास चाबी है, आप खोल सकते हो दरवाजा, लेकिन किसी ने आके ना बहुत बड़ा एक बैरिकेड सा रख दिया है डोर के सामने। जा पाओगे आप? नहीं हो पाएगा। एंड समझो इट इज अ वेरी हैवी मेटल बैरिकेड, यू कांट मूव इट, you will need effort to move it. And that metal barricade in our case is fat. Now why is fat coming here? मतलब क्या उसका काम है यहाँ पे? वो यहाँ पे इसीलिए आ गया क्योंकि हमारी इनएक्टिविटी की वजह से, हमारा लैक ऑफ एक्सरसाइज, हमारा लैक ऑफ प्रोटीन इंटेक एंड वेरी हाई कार्बोहाइड्रेट इंटेक, लाइक आई वाज टेलिंग यू, excess energy gets converted to fat only. So excess carbohydrate is getting converted to fat. So today it is a wake up call. जो हमारी बॉडी में फैट है ना, वो तेल, बटर, चीज, घी, सिर्फ ये चीजें खाने की वजह से नहीं आ रहा है। It's a part of the problem. It's not the entire problem. All right. So muscle is like a sponge to glucose. That's why we call it the glucose sponge, which is like a primary metabolic engine. All right. And healthy muscles, they act like a sponge by absorbing about 80% of the glucose. That's why we keep telling all our diabetic patients, start doing strength training, lift some weights, do some muscle strengthening so that your sugar can move from blood into the muscles and your average blood sugars can come down. And this will also reduce your post meal sugars significantly. It will improve your body's ability to absorb glucose better. You're changing the entire metabolism, the entire functioning itself. आप एक दो चीजें सही करने लगेंगे तो सारा ना मतलब गेम बदलने वाले हो आप अपनी बॉडी का। ऑलराइट, ओके, नाउ we'll talk about the spiral that one undergoes when they have diabetes. What exactly is the spiral that I'm trying to say? What are the, like, one after the other क्या होता जाता है ना, we say it as a vicious cycle. One leads to another, second leads to the third, third leads to the fourth thing, and then we get stuck in that. So for example, the first is the muscle loss. समझो you have diabetes, you have say you're in that 40 plus age, तो muscle loss हो रहा है. Now imagine the sponge. Very simple thing. Women in the house, women in the room can relate to this. The sponge wipe that you have in your kitchen, the first day when you remove it, how well does it absorb water on the kitchen counter? जब हम पोछा लगाते हैं, किचन काउंटर जब हम साफ करते हैं, कितनी बढ़िया तरीके से वो काम करेगा ना ऑन द फर्स्ट डे. द सेम थिंग ऑन द 30th डे, it has shrunk a little bit, correct? And it doesn't hold as much water, or it didn't clean up as much as it did on day one. Correct? Accept करोगे आप मेरी बात को? I'm sure you will. That is because the sponge has shrunk. Similarly, when the muscle loss is happening, the uh, glucose sponge, which is your muscle, has shrunk, which leaves the chance of sugar being inside your blood more. So your sugar from the blood is not being reabsorbed. And obviously, this leads to, so when there's lesser muscle, there are lesser receptors also, and there's more fat accumulation. So obviously, your body has become resistant to insulin now. Got it? Are we sure? Are we clear about this? And it has a difficulty processing the excess sugar in the blood. Now we know there's higher blood sugar money. Again, the same thing happens. Higher the blood sugar, higher will be the body's ability to break down your muscle. Okay. And all your other clinical markers worsen, meaning your stress level increases, your cortisol level goes up, and there's more and more. So, what happens? The more your body has sugar in the blood, your brain gives a signal to the pancreas to produce more insulin because the brain thinks there's no insulin. But the real story is insulin तो है बस काम नहीं कर रहा है वो because of all the problems that it has to face. So imagine when you're constantly pumping something to produce more. What happens? It gets tired eventually. So your insulin is getting secreted in excess. जब insulin excess में secrete हो रहा है, insulin has this ability to convert, जो भी है, to convert it into fat, excess. तो ये जो भी है sugar, वो muscle में जाने के बजाय it is getting converted to fat. So there's more fat storage around your muscles, around your vital organs, underneath your skin, which is subcutaneous fat, in different parts of the body. Inside your heart, inside your veins also, inside your liver as well, which is fatty liver. When it goes into your heart, we know heart blockages, etc. ठीक है, atherosclerosis, as we say, that happens when the fat is getting accumulated inside your arteries. Correct? And day by day, there's more muscle loss. All these things, high cortisol, more insulin resistance, will further lead to muscle loss because there's more inflammation, more stress in the body. So, do you realize these things are so interconnected? One thing goes wrong, it all happens one after another. So, what is the solution here? The only solution is to break the cycle and to bring a change. Before that, let's understand something. This is a very important thing. I want all of you to pay attention to this. We usually compare ourselves with our friends or family members, right? Saying, ये भी 70 किलो का, मैं भी 70 किलो का हूं. But he looks different. इसका पेट ज्यादा है या मेरा पेट ज्यादा है, इसका कम है. That's how we feel, है ना? Why is that so? I hope you can see this image here. ठीक है? Same 75 kilos on the scale, if you can see. Okay? But this person has more fat around the midriff. The thighs are bigger. But this person has more toned. Can you see the blue things which are sort of highlighted? These are all your muscles. Two different people with the same weight have the different body composition. The word is body composition here. Now, what is body composition? It is the sum total of your muscles, your fat, bone, water, everything inside your body is leading to your weight. Body composition meaning the different tissues or different, say, things present inside your body. हमें क्या करना चाहिए? We have to focus on increasing your muscle mass and reducing your fat mass so that you have high strength, you have a healthy BMI, you have you have lesser risk towards any health condition, right? The more fat around your belly and the lesser muscle in your body will lead you to a higher risk towards heart conditions, to several metabolic conditions. Okay, your lifespan, your quality of life, everything reduces. Okay, all right. Next thing, let's understand how can we really bring about a change. What is the solution to this now? ठीक है? There are three main pillars जिसके ऊपर हम बात करेंगे. One is the nutritional architecture or simple words में nutritional intervention. Food related changes, what exactly do you have to do. Second, exercise or fitness related. Okay. And the third, system recovery, mindfulness or rest and recovery, basically. It's all as simple as that. First one, it's your protein intake. First myth I would like to break. It may come as a shock. आपको सरप्राइज लगेगा, but I'll tell you. जो जिम जाते हैं, जो वर्कआउट करते हैं जिम में, सिर्फ उनके लिए प्रोटीन पाउडर नहीं बना है. अभी सम ऑफ अस में थिंक अरे न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट हैं तो प्रोटीन पाउडर ये वो पता नहीं क्या क्या बोलेंगे. नहीं, we're not here to market a product or push you towards packaged foods. None of that. We would be the last people to tell you to take packaged food. But supplements are different, and a good quality protein powder is different. Now, why am I directly talking about protein powder? Not like आप खाने से नहीं ले सकते. Definitely आप लोगे. ठीक है? Whether you're a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, there are various sources that you will take. But अगर आपका ज्यादा है प्रोटीन रिक्वायरमेंट, you may not be able to meet it with just food. Because when you're taking a food source, it also comes with carbohydrates, fats, and several other things. But when you take a protein supplement, it is only giving you pure protein and nothing else. Correct? This way you can keep a check on your carb intake also, on your calorie intake also. Now, अभी हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि मुझे कितना चाहिए प्रोटीन? फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, check your weight today or check your weight tomorrow morning on empty stomach after using the washroom. Whatever your weight is, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, I don't know, whatever it is. Start taking 1.2 grams of protein per kg body weight if you are above 40, 50, 60, whatever age. But if you are a renal patient and if you're undergoing any other medical treatment for a serious medical condition, these will change. This is not a one size fit all, say, strategy. But I'm talking about individuals who do not have any metabolic health issue, they do not have any renal condition or any other health condition. They're absolutely fine. सब जो आपको पास diabetes है, hypertension है, in such cases 1.2 grams is important per kg body weight. So the simple way to calculate is 1.2 into your body weight. 80 into 1.2, 70 into 1.2, whatever the number is, that is your weight. Sorry, your protein requirement. Now that you must understand how you can take it. So today you can go back to your coach and you can say, I believe this is my requirement, or please help me understand for this requirement, how much protein do I have to take and with what sources? So she will give you a complete breakup of food sources and the supplements. All right. If required, not everyone requires a supplement, but I'm still telling you. But do not be under the illusion that protein supplement is only made for a gym goer. Absolutely not. And whey protein is not our enemy. It is just milk, dehydrated, moisture removed in a powdered form. That's it. Now, the next question to me would be, why can't I take milk instead? No, you can't. That's because the 30 grams of protein that you may get in a scoop, 25 to 30 grams, you will not get the same in one scoop of milk. Okay? Another example I'll give you. Have you seen normal dates? The fresh dates? Fresh dates versus the dried ones, the very dried ones, जो एकदम hard होते हैं. Have you noticed the difference in the sweetness level? There's also figs. Fresh figs are so different from dried figs. Dried figs are extremely sweet. Why? Because when the moisture is removed, the sugar and whatever that's present in it, they all its density increases, its intensity also increases. उसका जो quantity होता है वो बढ़ जाता है. Okay, one fresh date versus one dried date. The amount of sugar in both will be very different. Similarly, one scoop of milk versus one scoop of protein powder, the amount of protein is very different. That's because they have dehydrated, removed the water, moisture, everything, and given it to you in pure form. All right. Next thing, talking about exercise. So when we started this session, we were talking about is walking important? Does it help? Does it not help? Some of you said yes, no, maybe, absolutely not, absolutely yes. To some extent, बहुत अलग अलग आंसर्स आए मेरे पास. You're all right. It is not like the only thing that is required, but ऐसा भी नहीं है कि वो कोई help ही नहीं करता. It does. It helps in improving your, say, uh, reducing your sugar levels by a little measure. It helps in keeping you active. It keeps your heart health in good shape. But the question is, does it help with muscle health? Does it really help in muscle making or synthesis? No, it does not. This entire glucose sponge, muscle as the primary aspect of your body composition, ये सारा हम स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग करने से ही अचीव कर पाएंगे. It's as simple as that. Now, what is strength training? The first question some of you may have. It is any activity which is making your muscle active. As simple as that. For example, you are picking up a can of water. उसमें क्या लग रहा है? आपके shoulders, आपके जो upper arms, those muscles are being utilized. By the time you bend and you pick up, your back muscles are getting utilized. ठीक है? All these are muscles. Everything you do, every activity that you do, your muscles are being utilized. The only thing that we are asking you to do is to make these activated, to make them, strengthened. And it's not like strength training सिर्फ heavy dumbbells उठाने से या सिर्फ जिम जाने से होगा. घर पे आप रेजिस्टेंस बैंड्स लेके कर सकते हो. So there is a set of bands of about 4 or 5. ठीक है? You can buy it online. So what are these bands? They come with some resistance, meaning you'll have to pull them against, say, towards you in different ways, in different angles, in order to train that muscle. So this is targeted resistance or targeted, say, strength training. All right. So two things we learned today. One, even if you're not going to the gym, you are very well allowed to take a protein supplement. Second thing, strength training not necessarily should only be done at the gym. You can definitely pull it off at home as well. Invest in some weights, otherwise just get a pack of resistance bands and let's get started. It's as simple as that. And third, and the most important, sleep. One thing I want to talk about sleep is it's not just sleeping for 8 hours. Let's understand that. सिर्फ 8 घंटे कभी भी सो के बस 8 घंटे हम सो गए काफी नहीं है. इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट कि आप कितना अच्छे से सो पा रहे हो in that 8 hours. How undisturbed and how, say, deep sleep that is. For that, lack of distraction, more mindfulness, do some deep breathing if required, cut off all the distractions, turn on yellow lights, turn off white lights or bright lights that hit the eye and reduce the melatonin secretion. Okay. And if you really feel, despite all changes, maybe it's not really helping, with the approval of your doctor and your nutritionist, you can try supplements like magnesium glycinate, triple magnesium complex, Magnesium really helps with improving your say deep sleep because it also increases muscle recovery. It calms down your nervous system and it improves your sleep quality. Okay. ठीक है. Most importantly, the thing that I want to tell you, why do we tell you ग्रेन फ्री डिनर करो, ग्रेन फ्री डिनर करो, आपका ये सबसे ज्यादा होना चाहिए, डिनर में कार्बोहाइड्रेट सबसे कम होने चाहिए एंड योर प्रोटीन शुड बी हाई, यू कैन रिप्लेस इट इंस्टेड. That's because first thing when you take protein for dinner and you go to bed after whatever 3 hours जो भी है, your मसल सिंथेसिस इज द हाईएस्ट. सो देखो, जिम जाने से, वर्कआउट करने से, प्रोटीन खाने से नहीं बन जाता मसल. यू आर जस्ट प्रोवाइडिंग एन एनवायरनमेंट फॉर इट. द एक्चुअल मसल बिल्डिंग हैपेंस व्हेन यू आर स्लीपिंग. इमेजिन. ठीक है, लाइक इट सेड, योर मसल्स आर ब्रोकन इन द जिम, दे आर फेड इन द किचन and they are made while you're asleep in the bed. Okay. That's why it's so crucial that your dinner has to be protein rich in order to utilize that better and result in better muscle synthesis. Quickly reiterating the meal plate concept, as we all know, half your plate should be filled with vegetables, and your protein and carbohydrates should be in equal quantity so that your carbohydrates do not overpower the protein. Okay. Now I'll tell you a few more things. Strength training के बारे में हमने काफी बात की है, but I'll still just sort of wrap it up. The benefits is, एक तो muscle tissue जब बढ़ता जाता है, your strength improves. Okay? Each one of you just commit 30 days to strength training. I'm telling you. It will change your life for the better. You will surely go back to your coaches and tell, 30 days से मैंने थोड़ा थोड़ा करके strength training किया. I feel so light. I feel so energetic. I haven't felt this energy in a year now. I can easily pick up that shopping bag जिसके लिए मुझे किसी की help चाहिए थी. Now I'm able to get up from the chair without holding on to something. Okay? There's better energy, there's better mobility. Second thing, it increases your metabolic rate. The biggest problem is, especially someone who's on a weight loss journey, who's on a diabetes reversal plus weight loss journey, दोनों के लिए मैं बता रही हूँ. We think I'm doing everything, I'm eating, I'm doing exercise, but I'm not losing weight. One core problem at the bottom is low metabolism. Low metabolism, we know, forces your body to store more calories. As you improve your muscle, it improves your metabolic rate. And it drastically improves insulin sensitivity. Drastically changes how your muscles react to or respond to insulin, and it brings about a change in your glucose uptake. Okay. For your lower body, do squats. अगर आपको लगता है the original way of doing squats is not possible, just pull out a chair, sit and stand on the chair. That's called chair squats. That's still fine. Lie down on the bed and just lift your pelvic region, glute bridges. Okay, so the back part of your thighs and your glutes, those are getting strengthened. Just sit and stand. Even if you're sitting on the bed, just sit, stand, sit, stand. And there's another very famous thing we've told all of you, soleus push-up और heel raises. बैठे बैठे हम अपनी बस एड़ी ऐसे उठाते रहते हैं. So your calf muscle is getting activated. Even if you're sitting now, just start doing heel raises. Keep your toes firm on the ground and just start moving your heels up. You will realize. Then wall push-ups and water bottle shoulder press. So At home, maybe you don't have weights, you don't have resistance bands, but you want to start off with something from today only because you're very energized from this conversation we've had. मेरे पास ना ऐसे बॉटल्स होते हैं, मैं अपने पेशेंट्स को कहती हूँ ऐसे 2 बॉटल्स, सिमिलर लुकिंग बॉटल्स उठाओ, भर के पानी डालो इसमें, एंड यूज दिस एज योर वेट, एज सिंपल एज दैट. ओके. एंड द नेक्स्ट थिंग आई वाज टेलिंग, द लास्ट थिंग वाज रेजिस्टेंस बैंड्स या जो रेजिस्टेंस ट्यूब्स आते हैं, ऐसे ना उसको होल्ड करने के लिए हैंडल्स आते हैं, समथिंग लाइक दैट, व्हिच इज वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू यूज. ओके. सो आर वी क्लियर हाउ न्यूट्रिशन, optimal sleep and good amount of activity, these three help. और इन सारी चीजों को सपोर्ट करने के लिए हाइड्रेटेड रहना जरूरी है. तो वट एवर इज योर रिक्वायर्ड वाटर इनटेक ऑफ द डे, वी हैव टू मीट दैट टू prevent dehydration, drop of energy levels, etc. Okay. And the vital nutrients या जो vitamins हैं जो required हैं in your muscle related health, they are mainly vitamin D, B12, magnesium, calcium, omega-3 fats. All right. If your vitamin D levels are low, even then you will not be able to do the right amount of exercise. एक तो energy नहीं होगी आपको करने को. If required, you can take, or you can discuss with your doctor and your nutritionist and run these tests. And if they are on the lower end, you can start with the supplementation or your changes in the diet. ठीक है? Okay. Okay. This is pretty much it. We'll quickly take up some questions if there are any. Okay, so the very first one. Thank you so much, Mr. Rajesh. I'm glad that you loved it. So sources of B12. So okay, we have multiple sources. एक तो B12 ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा आपके non-veg sources में मिलता है. ठीक है. There are also some nuts and seeds where you can find it. But in case you have a deficiency, like a very chronic deficiency, you may require a supplementation. Okay. And Mr. Guru, Ms. Guru has mentioned, hi ma'am, my husband has HbA1c 8.6, he had a stroke 8 years back, height is 5.7, weight 61. We can see muscle wasting. He is on diet prescribed by nutritionists, how to increase muscle mass and maintain weight. Since he has right side hemiplegia, he is active, does regular exercise and walking. Okay, Guruji, I would just say first, see, diet does not mean diet by nutritionist. Again, I'm not sure how well you are able to adhere to it. First, check for protein intake in that. First and foremost. Second, check for his, like I said, nutrients. अगर कोई vitamin profile में vitamin deficiency कुछ है, we need supplementation in this case because he has a couple of limitations. Okay. Third, exercise is a very generic term. Walking is exercise, running is exercise, just sitting and like moving your shoulders like that is exercise. But what are we really doing for strengthening the muscle? Is that happening or no? If he can't move his right side, slowly, steadily, probably just take 2 kgs dumbbell, 1 kg of dumbbell and do simple shoulder press and just do simple, say, seated exercises, something like that. Okay, so first thing protein, second thing your nutrients, micronutrients, and the third exercise. Okay, moving forward. What are the exercises in resistance bands? There are multiple exercises. There are plenty of YouTube videos. Just go on just go on YouTube and type beginner level resistance bands exercise. You'll find plenty of videos. Okay. Then okay. Krishnamani ma'am is asking, will it help to take a protein drink at dinner time so it helps in the sleep? See, I'll tell you something. Protein drink particularly रात में लेने की जरूरत है नहीं, but ले सकते हैं if you feel your protein is not being met from other sources. Maybe whatever dinner you've planned lacks protein, then you can definitely take protein from here. Okay, and then moving to next thing. Daily strength training is required, or 2 days cardio, 2 days strength training, and 2 days yoga is okay. When doing strength training, sugar level goes up. Is it normal? So let me tell you, 2 day minimum what we say is do 4 days of strength training minimum in a week and keep one rest day for sure. One yoga day आप रखो, कोई बात नहीं. Cardio हम usually क्या कहते हैं? Finish your strength training for about 40-45 minutes also. Initially, you start with 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and go to 40 minutes. Then, followed by strength training, you do your cardio itself. Cardio doesn't necessarily have to be done on a separate day only. This is what you're doing, you're strengthening your muscle and then you're doing cardio. So you're improving the metabolic rate as well as protecting your muscle. This way, you are redirecting your body towards fat loss in a better way. Melatonin अच्छा है माने in what way? I'm not sure. Are you asking a supplement? Then I would never recommend it as the first go. ठीक है? It can be taken as approved by the doctor in say chronic sleep issues, but try other things before that. Try say holistic changes and then try magnesium supplementation. Things don't work, then maybe we can take something like that. Okay, can you please share a set of resistant bands to purchase? So, what I can do is Cult has this Cult, Bold Fit. These are some brands that are good ones. You can just go on Google, search for these brands, and you'll find it. Order from Amazon or their websites, anything. I already lost a lot of muscles due to cardio exercise. Exactly, Ram Prabhuji. This happens when you are heavily focused on losing calories and you only do cardio. The only way for you to regain is, you know, load yourself with good amount of protein, like I said, 1.2 grams, and start doing simple exercises. Don't overwhelm yourself. Gradually, you'll feel better. Okay. Now, okay. Next, high creatinine. Okay, this is a different thing. You can definitely check with your coach for high creatinine. You'll have to change up in the amount of protein. Now it depends whether you're on dialysis, not on dialysis. There's many other things to consider. So accordingly, your protein will be adjusted. For renal patients also, there are protein supplements to prevent muscle wastage. So you can check that up with your dietitian or your health coach. Best protein supplement trade name? No, there isn't like any best ones. Each one of your coach has a couple of ones that they can suggest. We also have a fermented yeast protein on our platform itself. आप वो भी खरीद सकते हो. So that's not a problem. अगर वेट स्टक हो गया है, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड हम क्या कर रहे हैं. क्या सेम तरह का खाना खा रहे हैं, सेम तरह की एक्सरसाइज करते जा रहे हैं सालों साल से, तो स्टक होना ही है. चेंज अप इन द अमाउंट ऑफ प्रोटीन you're taking. Change to this 1.2 gram protein. Like I said, if you don't have any other metabolic conditions, you will see an improvement. Take my word on that. And HbA1c 6.1, weight 63.2. I don't know what your height is, so